This difficult.
Everything's a challenge.
Through adversity to the stars.
From the last plane to the last bullet to the last minute to the last man, we fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
We fight.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, that's right, we're going to give the P-51 Mustang some love. More importantly, the P-51D Mustang. The game, we're back in Gunship sequel World War II. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me over the sound of the engine and stuff like that. Hopefully the sound doesn't cut in and out like it's done a handful of times. My last couple of videos worked pretty well, so hopefully this one continues to do so. So I've been playing around with this gun quite a bit. Might even say I'm a little bit obsessed at this point in time. But just because, like I said, with the graphics on the outside and stuff, they're not the best. I mean, look at your trees and stuff and everything. But the planes look pretty good. Like I said, it's definitely not Microsoft Flight Sim quality or DCS or anything. But I can read the stuff and I can read the gauges, which they all basically work. But we're going to take a little tour of the P-51 cockpit. We're going to get up into the air, and then we're going to go ahead and get up into the sky there, and we're going to get into a dogfight. Might throw some bombers up there and some BF-109s and stuff just to play around with. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, this is the cockpit of the P-51D. There's actually quite a bit of decent detail to it and everything. You can even look over here and read most of this stuff that's on there. But we're going to start with the left wall, kind of go over all the stuff. Let me shift around to my seat here. So, back here you got, let's see if I can see it hopefully. Oh my gosh. Alright, so you've got your flaps and your carburetor stuff down there. This is for your radiators for your engine and oil, I believe. Your rudders and your ailerons and stuff. This is your trim setting wheels down here. You've got your, shift back around here. You got your prop control, your mixture control, your throttle. This here controls the gun sights. Now, mind you, this is all on the real P-51. In the game, the only things you can control is your stick, your rudder pedals, and your throttle and stuff. All the flaps and whatnot are all controlled by the Oculus controllers. But I'm just going through the actual cockpit. But, so these little dials right back up in here, these would control your gun sight and stuff. Starting up onto your dash and instrument clusters and everything. You've got all your little things. You've got your compass, your clock. This is your pressure, everything for all your dials and everything are ran off of like negative pressure, like suction. So there's that. Your manifold pressure. You've got your engine temperature and stuff. You've got your RPMs. Down here you've got a 3 different type dials here. You've got your, I believe, your oil temperature. This is your oil pressure, your fuel pressure. This right here in realistic mode, this would tell you your the amount of G's you're pulling and stuff. Your climb rate, your turn indicator, and your slip indicator. Your artificial horizon. This here is a gyro compass, your altimeter, and your airspeed. Moving down, we've got this all here is what will start the plane up and stuff. All these little switches are here for that. These little lights right here indicate for your landing gear, your parking brake. Another thing I forgot to mention, this little dial right here, right there, it would dim these little lights right here for your cockpit and stuff. But these right here are all your weapon selection switches. Down below you've got your fuel selector and your fuel cutoff and everything. You actually have, shift around to get on the seat. There's your fuel gauge for the left wing, and your fuel gauge for the right wing's down there. Oh, God. Sorry. You got your gun sight. You've got over here, this is your oxygen. All your little switches for that. Another little light dimmer switch for this side. Your little wheel for your canopy. Switch right here will blow the canopy so you can get out. You have your generator and the switches. Let's see. Can't remember what those do. This here is for your radio. And back there, I still can't remember what that does. But then you have your I'm going to readjust my camera here. I shifted around too much. There we go. So you have your flight stick, controls all your stuff. As you can see, I got movement on both. We'll switch to an outside view. You got movement in your elevators and your rudder as well. Same thing with flaps. Go all the way down with them and stuff. And like I said, you have on the stick, if you hold down on the stick, that puts your brake on, so I can throttle up and run up the engine if I want. As you can see, some of the gauges will move and stuff with that. Manifold pressure, your RPMs. All right. So that's essentially the cockpit of the P-51. Like I said, it's all there, and I believe most of the planes in this game, your cockpits are pretty accurate, and most of them, if not all of them, have all the right stuff in all the right places and everything. So the developers did a really good job at those details, and that's where I really feel like with that and the flight mechanics of the game, the game really shines. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up into the air. I'm going to go ahead and put my harness on here. Yes, I do have a 4-point harness attached to a flight sim chair that I play around with. Why? Because I'm a dork. But it definitely adds to the immersion. Controllers back on, or in this case my gloves. Alright, we are in. Controls are good. Alright, we're going to go ahead and taxi now. So we're going to throttle up. The stick also controls your rudder. Canopy's closing. There we go. I do wish that the developers would add a little bit more to the game. The ability to remove the floating HUD would be nice, or at least customize it to your liking, whatever you want and not want. The ability to shut the engine off and everything and start it up. Maybe the ability to use toggle switches. And also open the canopy and close the canopy would be cool. So, alright. Pretty well lined up right about now. Looks good, looks good. I think we're off by a hair. Oh well. Good enough. I'll straighten up a little bit. Good enough. Okay. So we'll go down 50% flaps. Alrighty. And away we go. Gears up, and you'll notice that a lot of times some of the switches, like the landing gear lever down there, that it did manipulate and stuff, so it does move. It's animated, but you just can't move it yourself. So, alright. So we're up in the air. All my stuff's working well. Everything looks good. Now, one thing I have been noticing between the realistic mode and historical mode, obviously realistic mode has much more realistic flight mechanics and stuff. Historical mode, it has realistic flight mechanics, but I feel like it's lightened up a little bit. You have a little bit more control of the plane and stuff. It's, you know, like if I push down on the stick, it goes down pretty well. In realistic mode, though, and everything, it's a little harder to nose, at least in the P-51, to get it to nose down and everything. And that's just because I was reading the actual manual, for the P-51, and it states that when the landing gear is up and the flaps are up, it becomes tail heavy anyway. So that would make sense. So, that noise you're hearing, that groaning sound, if you've never played the game before, you see my speed is up into the 400s, 419. That starts getting into the max limit of the airframe, so it starts to groan a little bit. I can get up to about almost 500 miles an hour and stuff before this thing will, my control surface will become damaged and my wings fall off. So. All right, everybody. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut on over to the dogfight. So stay tuned, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. All right, everybody, and here we are, up above the Normandy invasion right now. We've got 8 versus 8, P-51s versus the 109s. Tried it a little bit ago with the B-17s involved, and it caused too much lag, so we're going to try it this way, see if it does it a little bit better. Hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the engine and stuff. Get a little altitude here. Moving on one of my boys here. We're all going after him. We lost one of our boys down there. Well, I believe that is all of them. Not seeing anymore. I think that's it. Alright, fellas. Pack up and go home. Well, there you have it, folks. A little bit of fun in the P-51 Mustang. Like I said, I love flying the plane. It is a lot of fun to fly, and it's just like the game itself is a lot of fun. So the graphics aren't anything to write home about, but the mechanics of it, and as you can see, just the realisticness of it and everything is where the game really kind of shines. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll probably do a handful more of the other planes and stuff. I got a couple more I want to play around with, like the SBD Dauntless and stuff like that. We might get into a dive bomb or whatever. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.